Let's talk a little bit about regression because it is super common and it is so normal. Whenever, doesn't matter if we're 2 years old, if we're 10 years old, if we're 40 years old, if we're 50 years old, whenever we experience something that feels overwhelming, highly stressful, traumatic, even, we naturally regress into lower stages of our brain and we regress on an emotional level. And we see this come to life in the playroom. We see children who are coming to see us where the parents and caregivers are reporting there's regression at home. Maybe the 8-year-old all of a sudden doesn't want to sleep in their own bed. Maybe the child, maybe the 7-year-old is all of a sudden soiling their pants or having a hard time sleeping or sucking their thumb. Maybe the child is regressed and doing baby talk. Maybe they are so regressed they've even embodied the toddler walk. Maybe whatever it may be. And what I want you to hear is that it is so normal. The reason why we regress to earlier stages of emotional development when we are under stress is because we go back to the earliest places in us where we try to establish a sense of safety. We try to establish a sense of internal security. We try to establish a sense of security with our environment, with our caregivers. And those are early, early stages. Another way I like to think about this is we get vulnerable. We feel vulnerable. We feel little inside. We can recognize this as adults. Things feel hard and we feel little inside. It's no different for kids. So when this is happening in the playroom or you're hearing parents and caregivers talk about it, the first thing is really normalize it. Just normalize. There's nothing to be afraid of about it. It's actually just beautiful information to let us know how vulnerable the child is feeling. And on some level, how either not safe or not feeling trusting or just feeling insecure or whatever it may be. It's giving us insight into their vulnerabilities and where they're feeling little. Sometimes there's an impulse to try to get the child to grow back up. Stop acting like a baby. Get your thumb out of your mouth. Act your age. How many times have we heard that, right? Act your age. But actually, what the child needs in the moment is to be met at their regress state. So, can we support the child in actually being little, but being little in a more conscious way? So, if we're with the child or the parent has a child that's regressing, how can we encourage them to say, "Oh, hey, little one, come over here. Let me rock you. Let me soothe you. Some part of you must feel really scared right now." And what we know is that over time, when that young part starts to feel seen and starts to feel safe again and starts to trust again, they grow back up. But what we also know is that when that part isn't met, it's harder to grow back up. So when we have regression in the playroom, when we're hearing about it from the parents and caregivers, embrace it, go with it. It's a beautiful information, and the child is saying, "Meet me here, please, because this is where I feel and this is where I'm at. So please come be with me in this particular moment in the way that I am." And as play therapists, that's part of the magic of what we can offer is to meet children exactly where they are.